Have you ever felt like no matter how much you try, life keeps demanding more from you than you can give? Have you ever wondered why the people who talk the loudest, complain the most, or seek constant attention often seem to be getting nowhere, while those who quietly focus grow steadily in ways that everyone notices eventually? There's a reason for that, and it's one of the deepest secrets to changing your life. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you're going to discover a truth so simple yet so powerful that it could shift everything about how you live, think, and succeed. Life has a way of rewarding the patient, the silent, and the focused. But here's the catch. Society trains us to do the opposite. From the moment we are born, we are taught to shout for attention, to seek approval, to prove ourselves constantly. Social media, friends, even family. So many forces push us to speak, explain, and justify who we are and what we do. And in chasing this constant validation, we lose something far more valuable, our own power. Think about it. How much energy do you spend every single day explaining yourself, arguing with people who don't understand, trying to make others see your worth? It's exhausting. And yet there's a better way, a quieter, stronger, and more effective way that the world rarely talks about. Imagine for a moment what would happen if you stopped. If you stopped trying to justify your every move. If you stopped giving your attention to every opinion, every complaint, every criticism. Imagine if you chose to focus that energy inward, on yourself, on building your strength, on shaping your vision. You would be amazed at how life begins to respond. This isn't just philosophy, it's psychology. Your mind and your life thrive on focus and clarity. When you scatter your energy, it dilutes your power. When you concentrate it, even in silence, it magnifies your impact. Silence is not weakness. In fact, it is one of the most underrated tools for growth, success, and inner peace. The people who achieve the most in life are rarely the loudest. They are the ones who understand the value of stillness, of reflection, and of working on themselves while the world is busy arguing, complaining, and reacting. By focusing on yourself, you are not ignoring the world. You are preparing yourself to win in it. You are planting seeds in private, seeds that will grow into results the world cannot ignore. And here's something important. Staying silent does not mean avoiding action. It means directing your energy wisely. It means removing the noise that distracts you, cutting out the unnecessary chatter that drains your focus, and channeling every ounce of your attention toward growth. The reward for this is incredible, but only if you are willing to make the choice today. Life has a strange way of rewarding patience and focus. The quieter you become, the more powerful you grow. And the best part, others will start noticing. Not because you shouted, but because your results speak so loudly that no one can ignore them. If you're watching this video, it's because part of you is searching for that change. You feel the frustration of wasted energy. You feel the exhaustion of trying to be heard in a world that barely listens. And deep down, you know that something must change. That's the spark that brought you here. And that spark can ignite a transformation if you allow it. By the end of this video, you will understand why silence, focus, and self-priority are not just habits. They are the foundation of a life that feels unstoppable. And you will learn how to use them to your advantage starting today. Think about the most successful people you admire. You might assume they are always busy speaking, promoting themselves, or explaining their actions. But in reality, their most important work happens quietly. They think before they speak. They act before they announce. They learn in silence. And in that silence, they build the strength, the knowledge, and the discipline that eventually makes their presence impossible to ignore. Every loud voice you hear is often masking doubt. Every constant complaint or argument you see is a distraction from real progress. Meanwhile, the quiet person, focused, patient, and resilient, moves forward steadily, often unnoticed, until the results are undeniable. Here's the truth you need to understand. The world does not reward noise. It rewards results. It rewards consistency. It rewards focus. And the path to those rewards is often paved with silence, self-reflection, and relentless attention to your own growth. The energy you spend trying to prove yourself to others is energy that could be used to improve yourself, to develop your skills, to grow your confidence, and to shape your destiny. The moment you realize this, life starts to change. So if you are ready, I want you to make a choice right now. Choose yourself. Choose silence over noise. Choose action over explanation. Choose focus over distraction. And stay with me until the end of this video, because by the time we finish, You will understand exactly why these small, quiet choices create massive, life-changing results. You will feel the shift in your mindset. You will feel the power in your focus. And most importantly, you will see how life itself begins to respond when you stop reacting to everything else. The truth is simple, but life-changing. Focus on yourself. Stay silent. Let the world wonder. Let the results speak. And if you do this consistently, the transformation waiting for you is beyond what words can describe. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of power, full of potential, full of opportunities waiting to be claimed. The moment you learn to embrace it, life begins to reveal its hidden patterns. Think about it. When you stop reacting to every noise, every comment, every distraction, you suddenly start to notice things others miss. Your mind becomes sharper. Your thoughts become clearer. You can hear the whispers of opportunity that were drowned out by chaos before. That clarity is not a gift. It is a result of deliberate focus, of choosing to step back, and of allowing your inner strength to grow quietly. When you focus on yourself, you are not being selfish. You are being strategic. You are understanding a simple law of life. Energy follows attention. Wherever your attention goes, your energy will follow. If you scatter it to every argument, every complaint, and every unnecessary conversation, your energy will weaken. But if you channel it inward, toward self-improvement, toward discipline, toward building the life you want, your energy multiplies. You become unstoppable, not because the world notices immediately, but because your power grows in ways that cannot be rushed, cannot be faked, and cannot be taken away. Imagine a seed buried deep in the soil. It does not announce its presence. It does not demand sunlight or water. It simply grows silently, patiently, steadily. And one day, it breaks through the surface, transforming the landscape without warning. That is the life of a focused person. Quiet, patient, unnoticed until the moment their efforts blossom into undeniable results. The world tends to underestimate silence, but that is precisely why it is so effective. Silence conceals power. Focus conceals strength. And when the right time comes, the world can no longer ignore what you have built. Your mind works the same way. The more you silence the noise around you, the more your thoughts gain clarity. You begin to understand your true desires, your authentic goals, and the actions that will take you there. Distraction clouds judgment. Chaos confuses priorities. But focus sharpens vision. When you learn to step away from the endless chatter, whether online, at work, or in personal life, you start to notice patterns. You see opportunities that were invisible before. You see mistakes others are repeating. You see the path to success that is always there, quietly waiting for someone willing to walk it without complaining. The temptation to react is strong. Every day, life offers countless reasons to argue, to defend, to prove, and to explain. But every time you resist that temptation, you grow stronger. Every moment you choose calm over chaos, focus over distraction, and action over reaction, you are building a foundation that no circumstance can shake. Strength is not built in noise. It is built in patience. Discipline is not developed through shouting. It is developed through stillness. Confidence is not created by proving yourself to others. It is cultivated by proving yourself to yourself. When you focus inward, you also learn a secret few people understand. Your value is not determined by external approval. The opinions of others, the criticisms, the judgments, they are all noise. They are reflections of someone else's perspective, shaped by their own fears and limitations. If you base your energy on these external voices, you will always feel drained, anxious, and distracted. But when you redirect your attention to yourself, your growth, and your purpose, you reclaim control. You decide where your energy goes. You decide what deserves your effort. And that is the true meaning of power. Silence teaches patience, focus teaches clarity, and together they teach resilience. Life will always throw challenges your way, but when you have cultivated the habit of remaining calm, concentrating on your growth, and acting strategically rather than reactively, nothing can derail you. Problems stop being obstacles. They become opportunities. Criticism stops being a burden. It becomes a lesson. Failure stops being a defeat. It becomes feedback. That transformation begins not in loud declarations or constant explanations, but in quiet moments of self-reflection and deliberate action. It is also in silence that creativity is born. When your mind is free from distraction, it begins to imagine solutions others cannot see. It starts to plan, to innovate, and to create strategies that feel impossible until they become reality. Every great achievement begins in quiet. Every breakthrough begins when the noise is removed. And every life transformed begins with the decision to focus inward, to stop reacting to everything else, and to commit to personal growth, no matter how unseen or slow it feels at first. The power of focus also changes the way you interact with the world. When you are no longer consumed by the need to explain, defend, or prove yourself, people begin to notice the difference. Confidence, calmness, and purpose are magnetic qualities. They attract respect, opportunities, and the right kind of attention naturally. You don't chase it, you embody it, and the world almost instinctively responds. That is the hidden magic of self-focus. It amplifies your presence without forcing it. It strengthens your influence without demanding. And it builds a life that commands respect silently, yet powerfully. So make the choice today. Allow yourself to step back. Allow yourself to stop reacting to every external distraction. Allow yourself to embrace the quiet, the stillness, and the focus. Watch how your thoughts become sharper, your energy becomes stronger, and your life begins to respond in ways that words cannot fully capture. This is not a temporary strategy. It is a lifelong principle. Those who master it do not just survive, they thrive. They do not just exist, they create. They do not just react, they conquer. Silence and focus are not the absence of action. They are the preparation for extraordinary results. By turning inward, by valuing your energy, and by committing to personal growth quietly and consistently, you are planting seeds for success, strength, and fulfillment that cannot be replicated or stolen. Life rewards those who prepare in silence. Life honors those who focus on themselves. And life transforms for those who understand that sometimes the loudest actions are the ones taken without announcement, without attention, and without the need for approval. There is a profound power in putting yourself first, not out of selfishness, but out of necessity. Too often we give away our energy, our focus, and our time to things that do not serve us. We invest in relationships, opinions, and distractions that drain us instead of lifting us up. Every moment you spend outside of yourself is a moment your potential remains untapped. The world will always demand pieces of you. If you give them freely without purpose, you will lose what is most valuable: your own direction, your own clarity, your own momentum. Choosing yourself is the first step toward building a life that is truly yours. Prioritizing your growth means understanding your worth without needing anyone to affirm it. The quietest people often possess the deepest self-respect because they do not rely on validation to feel strong. You begin to recognize that your dreams, your energy, and your focus are not negotiable. Every time you give in to distraction or external pressures, you weaken the foundation of your future. But when you protect your time, focus on your development, and nurture your inner vision, your life begins to reflect the value you place on yourself. People know the strength that is silent, presence that is unwavering, and confidence that does not seek approval. Self-focus also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges that test your patience and determination. When you are constantly reacting to others, responding to criticism, defending your actions, or seeking validation, you are constantly drained. Resilience is born when you stop reacting and start creating. You learn to handle obstacles without panic, setbacks without despair, and criticism without anger. Each time you choose your path over someone else's expectation, you strengthen a muscle that cannot be weakened by circumstance. This is the real power of self-priority. It shields your energy, sharpens your mind, and prepares you for challenges that most people are unprepared to face. Another hidden advantage of focusing on yourself is the clarity it brings. Most people live their lives reacting to noise, social media feeds, gossip, opinions, and the endless opinions of those around them. This constant input clouds judgment, makes decisions harder, and traps people in cycles of confusion. But when you step back, when you stop responding to every distraction, your mind begins to sort through the chaos naturally. Priorities become clear, goals become visible. The path to growth is illuminated not by external advice, but by your own perception. Clarity is the currency of achievement, and it is only earned through focus, discipline, and the courage to prioritize yourself above the noise. The journey of self-focus is also the journey of mastery. Every time you choose to spend time on yourself, on your skills, your health, your knowledge, and your vision, you are investing in an unstoppable version of yourself. The world rewards preparation, not excuses. The stronger you become quietly, the greater your impact becomes openly. Every skill you develop, every habit you cultivate, every decision you make in alignment with your goals compounds into results that are impossible to ignore. You are building a life that speaks louder than any argument, louder than any explanation, louder than any attempt to prove yourself to others. This focus creates freedom. Freedom from external pressures, freedom from unnecessary conflicts, and freedom from the constant need for approval. It allows you to act on your own terms, guided by your own judgment, without being manipulated by the opinions of others. True freedom does not come from doing whatever you want. It comes from being able to do what matters most to you without distraction, without compromise, and without the weight of unneeded expectations. That is the kind of freedom that transforms lives, careers, relationships, and personal fulfillment. Self-focus also builds confidence in a way that cannot be faked. When you rely on yourself for growth, guidance, and results, you stop needing permission to act. You stop needing reassurance from others. You stop doubting your ability to handle challenges. Confidence becomes a natural byproduct of consistent action, preparation, and discipline. It grows quietly inside of you as you witness your own progress and capability, and that confidence radiates outward, attracting opportunities, respect, and relationships that align with the life you are building. It is important to understand that self-focus does not mean isolation. It does not mean shutting the world out. It means filtering what truly matters from what is unnecessary. It means giving energy where it serves your growth and holding boundaries where it does not. Relationships, work, and social interactions should complement your life, not consume it. When you master this balance, you move through the world with a presence that is intentional and magnetic. You are no longer reactive, you are deliberate. You no longer chase, you attract. Every time you choose your path, every time you protect your focus, you create compounding results. Small, consistent actions in alignment with your goals begin to create exponential growth. The energy that once went to distractions is now fueling your vision. The clarity you gain allows you to make better choices. The discipline you cultivate creates habits that sustain long-term success. And the confidence you develop ensures that no obstacle can stop you from achieving what you set out to accomplish. Ultimately, the choice to focus on yourself is the choice to reclaim control over your life. It is the understanding that your energy, your focus, and your time are the most powerful resources you have, and that they must be spent intentionally. It is the courage to put growth, discipline, and vision above noise, approval, and fleeting distractions. When you embrace this mindset, you unlock the kind of transformation that is invisible to those who are distracted by the world, yet undeniable to anyone who witnesses the results. Your life begins to change, not because you demand it to, but because you quietly, intentionally, and relentlessly work toward it. The world is full of voices, constantly pulling your attention in every direction. Opinions, advice, criticism, and expectations bombard you from every side. Most people surrender to this noise, letting it dictate their emotions, their decisions, and even their sense of self-worth. But the truth is, the moment you stop listening to unnecessary noise, you start to hear what truly matters. You begin to understand the rhythm of your own life, the direction you are meant to take, and the actions that will actually move you forward. When you prioritize your own focus, everything becomes clearer. Every choice becomes simpler. Every step becomes more deliberate. Letting go of external validation is one of the most liberating steps you can take. Society has conditioned us to crave approval, to measure success through praise, likes, or recognition. But these are illusions. They do not define you. They do not build your strength. They do not shape your future. Every moment you spend trying to satisfy others is a moment stolen from your own growth. The real power lies in independence, the ability to move, to create, and to act according to your vision without waiting for someone else's approval. That independence is magnetic. It draws the right people, opportunities, and experiences toward you naturally, without force or explanation. Silence is a tool for protection as well as growth. When you stop reacting to every criticism or demand, you shield yourself from unnecessary stress. Your mind is no longer a battlefield of other people's expectations. Instead, it becomes a sanctuary of thought, planning, and creation. In that calm, ideas flow, solutions appear. Your intuition strengthens. The quiet becomes a space where you can assess, learn, and make decisions that serve your life, not someone else's drama. Every successful decision begins with clarity, and clarity begins with silence. Self-discipline thrives in this environment. The less you react impulsively to distractions, the more control you develop over your own actions. Every time you resist the urge to argue, complain, or justify yourself unnecessarily, you build mental stamina. Every moment you redirect energy inward instead of outward strengthens your capacity to focus on what truly matters. Life rewards those who can delay instant gratification, who can act thoughtfully rather than react emotionally, and who can consistently direct their energy toward meaningful goals. This is the foundation of long-term achievement, and it begins with the choice to step back and prioritize yourself. Your environment responds to your focus. When you are calm, composed, and intentional, the world around you begins to shift. People respond differently. Opportunities appear where previously there were obstacles. Situations that once seemed overwhelming become manageable. This is not luck. It is the natural consequence of disciplined energy. When you stop scattering yourself, the energy you have left is concentrated, powerful, and noticeable. The world cannot ignore someone who is steadily, silently building momentum in the right direction. Embracing silence also strengthens emotional intelligence. When you stop reacting to every stimulus, you begin to understand your own emotions better. You can see triggers clearly. You can make choices with reason rather than impulse. You can navigate difficult interactions without being consumed by anger, frustration, or fear. Emotional control is not just about suppressing feelings. It is about mastering them, using them as tools to guide your actions instead of letting them guide you. This control gives you confidence, clarity, and a sense of calm power that others cannot manufacture through loud words or empty promises. Focus and self-priority also teach you patience. The world often glorifies immediate results, but meaningful growth never happens overnight. By working quietly, consistently, and intentionally, you develop a rhythm that allows for sustainable success. Every small, deliberate step compounds over time, creating a momentum that cannot be stopped. The people who achieve the most are rarely those who rush or demand recognition. They are the ones who patiently nurture their skills, their habits, and their mindset, knowing that time is a powerful ally for those willing to invest it wisely. The process of tuning out distractions and focusing inward creates freedom from unnecessary anxiety. Most stress in life comes from trying to control what you cannot, worrying about others' opinions, or overextending your energy. When you prioritize yourself, set boundaries, and dedicate energy to meaningful work, stress naturally decreases. You become less dependent on external validation, less affected by others' judgments, and more grounded in your own purpose. This freedom is not given. It is earned through discipline, awareness, and consistent action. Even your relationships improve when you focus inward. By cultivating your own growth and stability, you become a source of strength rather than dependency. People are drawn to confidence, calmness, and purpose. When your life is centered on meaningful goals rather than distraction and noise, you naturally attract relationships that align with your vision. Those who drain your energy, demand constant validation, or pull you into unnecessary conflict will drift away, leaving space for connections that support and elevate your growth. Ultimately, the practice of staying silent and focusing on yourself is a mastery of energy. Every word, every thought, every action consumes energy. Most people waste it reacting to the unimportant, defending the unnecessary, or seeking validation from the wrong sources. But when you take control of your focus, you become the master of your own energy. You decide where it goes, how it is used, and what results it creates. And when energy is concentrated on growth, clarity, and intentional action, the transformation that follows is inevitable. Every moment you spend distracted is a moment you lose control over your life. Most people move through their days reacting to notifications, comments, and endless chatter, never realizing how much energy they are giving away. Each reaction, each unnecessary explanation, each attempt to satisfy someone else chips away at the strength and clarity that could be fueling their own growth. But when you make the decision to turn inward, to reclaim your focus, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your mind becomes a source of power instead of confusion. Your actions gain direction. your life starts to move in alignment with your intentions. The power of focus lies in its ability to multiply results. One person reacting to chaos achieves only fragments, while another, calmly concentrating on what matters most, builds momentum that cannot be stopped. This is the principle of exponential growth. When energy is scattered, it fades quickly. When energy is concentrated on meaningful actions, it compounds. Every small choice you make toward self-improvement, discipline, and vision grows silently, building a foundation that will support far more than you imagine. The quiet work you do today is preparing the success you will experience tomorrow. One of the greatest lessons you can learn is that life does not require explanation. The need to defend yourself, justify your actions, or argue constantly is one of the heaviest burdens people carry. It drains energy, clouds thinking, and delays progress. Yet, the people who rise above are those who understand that results speak louder than words. When you dedicate yourself to growth, when you consistently invest in your skills, habits, and mindset, the world responds. You no longer need permission, approval, or applause. Your life becomes a demonstration of your choices, a testament to your focus, and a reflection of your determination. Embracing silence also strengthens your ability to listen, truly listen. Most people hear noise, but few hear meaning. When you stop reacting and start observing, you notice patterns, opportunities, and truths that others overlook. You begin to understand what really matters and what is merely distraction. This awareness allows you to make decisions with precision, act with intention, and conserve energy for the battles that truly deserve it. Listening in silence is not passive. It is preparation for action that is thoughtful, strategic, and impactful. Self-focus transforms fear into courage. When you stop relying on others for validation, you stop being controlled by their opinions. Fear often comes from the pressure to meet expectations or avoid judgment. But as you strengthen your focus, you realize that nothing outside yourself has the power to determine your worth. Every decision you make in alignment with your goals becomes an act of courage. Every moment you prioritize your vision over someone else's expectation reinforces your strength. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the mastery of attention, the refusal to let external noise dictate your choices, and the commitment to act despite uncertainty. The practice of deliberate focus also accelerates learning. When your mind is free from distraction, it absorbs knowledge faster, makes connections more clearly, and finds solutions more effectively. Most people waste hours on irrelevant tasks, arguing, scrolling, or overthinking, while a focused mind uses the same hours to grow exponentially. This is why results often seem to arrive suddenly for some, while others remain stuck despite effort. Focus is the multiplier that turns effort into achievement. It converts energy into progress and ideas into results. Another hidden benefit of prioritizing yourself is the improvement of emotional balance. Constantly reacting to the world leaves you emotionally drained, anxious, and unsettled. By choosing to act only on what matters, by focusing inward, and by cultivating patience, you develop stability. You respond to challenges rather than being consumed by them. You make decisions without panic. You handle setbacks with grace. Emotional balance is not accidental. It is the result of conscious control over attention, energy, and reaction. Discipline emerges naturally from consistent self-focus. Each time you say no to distraction, yes to growth, and commit to your own progress, you reinforce habits that compound into lifelong success. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. The freedom to pursue your vision without hesitation. The freedom to act with confidence. The freedom to build a life that reflects your true potential. Every choice you make today, even the small ones, lays the foundation for habits that will carry you through challenges and elevate you above mediocrity. As your focus grows, your influence increases. When you are calm, intentional, and self-directed, people notice. It is not because you demand attention, but because presence and clarity naturally attract it. Opportunities that were once hidden become visible. Decisions that once seemed impossible become manageable. Relationships that once drained you are replaced by connections that support and amplify your growth. Influence is not created by talking more. It is cultivated by acting with purpose and living with integrity. Ultimately, the choice to focus on yourself is the choice to reclaim your life. It is the refusal to let chaos, criticism, or distraction control your destiny. It is the commitment to build strength quietly, act intentionally, and create results that speak for themselves. Every ounce of energy you protect, every moment of silence you embrace, and every deliberate action you take compounds into a life of power, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Those who understand this principle move through life differently. They are not shaken by noise. They are not distracted by doubt. They are guided by vision, anchored in discipline, and unstoppable in pursuit of their goals. Action is the bridge between vision and reality. Many people spend their lives thinking, planning, and talking about what they want to achieve, but they never take the steps that turn dreams into results. Words alone cannot change your life. Plans alone cannot create momentum. Change happens when you act consistently, intentionally, and with purpose. Every small action you take when aligned with your goals compounds over time into results that are impossible to ignore. Action is the currency of progress, and the quiet, focused person spends it wisely. Distractions are the enemy of action. The world constantly demands your attention with notifications, arguments, and endless obligations. If you give in to every pull, you will never move forward. Energy spent reacting is energy lost. But when you redirect your focus to deliberate action, you become unstoppable. Each step you take toward your personal growth, your skills, or your goals reinforces your confidence and strengthens your resolve. Momentum is created not by speaking loudly, but by doing consistently. Every time you choose action over reaction, you gain power that no one can take from you. Consistency is the secret behind every extraordinary achievement. It is not talent, luck, or timing that separates the successful from the rest. It is the ability to keep moving forward quietly every day, even when no one is watching. Life responds to persistent effort, and small actions repeated over time create exponential growth. When you focus on yourself, protect your energy, and act with discipline, you are building results silently that will eventually speak louder than words ever could. The act of doing also strengthens courage. Many people hesitate because of fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Action dissolves that fear. Every time you take a step, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Each accomplishment, even a minor one, builds confidence and reduces doubt. Courage is not about avoiding fear. It is about moving forward despite it. Focused action transforms fear into fuel, doubt into clarity, and hesitation into momentum. Action requires clarity of priorities. When your energy is divided, when attention is scattered, you will accomplish little. But when you choose what is essential, every move becomes purposeful. The disciplined mind can see what truly matters and act without distraction. This precision allows you to maximize every hour, every decision, and every effort. It is not about doing more. It is about doing what counts. The world rewards results, and results are the product of focused, deliberate, and repeated action. The quiet pursuit of progress also fosters patience. Most people want immediate recognition for their efforts. They expect results overnight and feel frustrated when the outcome is delayed. But meaningful achievements are rarely instant. They are the product of persistence over time. Every day, you take steps in the right direction. Even when progress feels invisible, you are laying a foundation that will support success far beyond what you imagine. Patience is not passive. It is active preparation for the results you are building. Focus enhances the effectiveness of every action you take. A scattered mind produces scattered results. A concentrated mind produces outcomes that are undeniable. The more you invest your attention, energy, and effort in what truly matters, the greater the return. This is why the most accomplished people often work quietly. Their results are the byproduct of sustained, disciplined effort that no distraction can diminish. By channeling energy into deliberate action, you create power that grows silently until it cannot be ignored. Self-reliance grows naturally through action. The more you depend on your own efforts to achieve your goals, the less you rely on approval, praise, or recognition from others. Every step you take builds competence, confidence, and independence. This is the kind of strength that carries through challenges, setbacks, and adversity. When your life is the result of your deliberate actions rather than external validation, you are unstoppable in ways that words cannot capture. Every action taken in focus also creates clarity. Movement reveals lessons that thinking alone cannot provide. When you act, you discover strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities that remain hidden in thought. The path forward becomes visible as you take each step, and the choices that once felt overwhelming suddenly make sense. Life begins to respond to effort rather than expectation. The combination of focus and action turns vision into reality, chaos into order, and dreams into results. Ultimately, the power of action lies in its ability to transform potential into reality. Thinking, planning, and waiting create possibility, but acting creates certainty. Every deliberate step you take toward your personal growth, every disciplined decision, every moment you invest in yourself compounds silently into results that cannot be disputed. The quiet, focused, and consistent person does not need to explain, argue, or justify. Their life becomes proof that deliberate action, rooted in focus and self-priority, is the force that moves mountains, changes circumstances, and shapes destiny. Every day, life tests your patience, your determination, and your ability to stay focused. Challenges will come. Unexpected problems, setbacks, and moments when everything seems to fall apart. Most people allow these moments to break their momentum, to distract them, or to shift their attention to blame or complaint. But those who focus inward understand that challenges are not barriers, they are opportunities. Each difficulty is a chance to strengthen discipline, to sharpen strategy, and to grow in ways that cannot be learned from comfort. Resilience is built not when everything is easy, but when you choose to keep moving forward despite obstacles. The power of resilience comes from self-mastery. The more you understand your own mind, control your attention, and protect your energy, the less external circumstances can dictate your emotional state or decisions. Life will never be without friction, but by cultivating inner strength, you develop the ability to navigate any situation without losing focus. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is developed through repeated practice, through the conscious decision to act calmly, strategically, and with intention, no matter what happens outside of you. Resilient people understand the difference between reaction and response. Reaction is impulsive, driven by emotion, and often destructive. Response is deliberate, calculated, and productive. When you focus on yourself and remain silent in the face of chaos, you create the space needed to respond wisely. You are no longer controlled by the opinions, criticisms, or actions of others. Instead, you move with purpose, choosing your next step based on strategy rather than emotion. This is how momentum is preserved, how clarity is maintained, and how success is built silently but powerfully. Consistency and patience amplify resilience. Each time you face difficulty without surrendering to distraction or despair, you reinforce mental strength. Every challenge you navigate becomes a stepping stone, shaping habits, reinforcing discipline, and teaching lessons that last a lifetime. People who seem unshakable did not avoid challenges. They met them repeatedly, learned from each encounter, and continued moving forward when others would have given up. Your life follows the same principle. Resilience grows with repeated, focused effort over time, and it compounds quietly until it becomes unstoppable. Control over your energy is the foundation of resilience. Most people allow their emotions, environments, and other people to dictate how they feel and what they do. This creates chaos and instability. But when you focus inward, you reclaim control. You decide where your energy goes. You decide what deserves your attention. You decide how to act regardless of circumstances. This control is a form of power that is rarely understood but highly effective. It allows you to endure setbacks, handle criticism, and keep moving towards your goals without unnecessary friction. Resilience also strengthens your ability to make decisions under pressure. Life rarely gives time to think calmly when it throws challenges your way. The more you practice focus, discipline, and emotional regulation in everyday life, the better you handle high-pressure situations when they arrive. A calm mind sees opportunities hidden within adversity. A focused mind makes choices that others miss because they are overwhelmed by noise, stress, or panic. By investing in inner strength, you equip yourself to make the right moves when circumstances demand it most. Every obstacle is also a mirror reflecting areas that need growth. Challenges reveal weaknesses, gaps in knowledge, or habits that no longer serve you. Those who ignore these signals remain stagnant, repeating the same mistakes. Those who focus inward embrace them. They see each difficulty as feedback, not failure. They adjust, adapt, and continue forward. This mindset transforms setbacks into opportunities for improvement, fear into preparation, and struggle into mastery. Resilience is the result of seeing every difficulty as a step forward rather than a reason to stop. The combination of focus, action, and resilience transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. When you remain dedicated to yourself, consistently take deliberate steps, and face challenges without losing composure, momentum builds in ways that cannot be faked. The progress is often invisible at first, but each small victory compounds into larger achievements over time. Life begins to bend in your favor, not because the world changes, but because you have changed. You have become someone who can endure, adapt, and succeed despite circumstances. Resilience is also a magnet for opportunity. People and situations respond to strength and stability. When you remain calm, focused, and intentional, doors open that others cannot access. Challenges that would stop many people become stepping stones that propel you forward. Influence grows naturally because presence and consistency are more persuasive than words ever could be. Life rewards those who are prepared, disciplined, and capable of handling obstacles without distraction. Ultimately, the cultivation of resilience is the cultivation of personal power. It allows you to stay committed to your goals, protect your energy, and act with purpose no matter what happens around you. By embracing challenges, practicing patience, and responding instead of reacting, you build a life that cannot be shaken by external forces. Your progress becomes unstoppable, your confidence unshakable, and your path clear. The world may be unpredictable, but your inner strength ensures that nothing can derail your growth, your focus, or your success. Transformation begins the moment you commit to consistent self-focus. It's not a single event, a sudden breakthrough, or a dramatic change. True transformation is quiet, gradual, and persistent. Each day you dedicate to growth, every small step toward your vision, and every decision to protect your energy compounds into remarkable results over time. The most powerful changes in life rarely happen overnight. They happen silently, patiently, and deliberately. The process may feel slow, but it is unstoppable, and it builds a foundation that no setback can shake. Change begins with awareness. You cannot transform what you do not see clearly. When you quiet the noise of the world, you begin to notice patterns, habits, and behaviors that have held you back. You start to understand your triggers, your distractions, and the ways you waste energy on things that do not serve you. Awareness is the first step toward growth because it allows you to take control of your life instead of being controlled by it. Once you recognize what drains you and what empowers you, you can begin to redirect your attention toward what truly matters. The next step in transformation is intentional action. Awareness alone is not enough. Knowledge without execution is wasted potential. Every habit you build, every skill you develop, and every decision you make with purpose strengthens your progress. When you act deliberately, even in small ways, you create momentum. That momentum becomes energy, and energy becomes results. Transformation is the accumulation of countless small, focused actions that over time create an entirely new version of yourself. Self-discipline is the engine behind lasting change. Without it, even the clearest vision can be abandoned in the face of temptation or distraction. Discipline allows you to do what is necessary even when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, or ignored by others. It is not about punishment or restriction. It is about empowerment. Discipline gives you the freedom to pursue your goals with consistency and resilience. It transforms fleeting motivation into sustained progress, ensuring that your energy is always directed toward the life you want to build. Transformation also requires patience. The mind wants instant results. The world encourages speed, but meaningful change cannot be rushed. It grows quietly like roots beneath the surface, unseen but powerful. Every moment of self-control, every act of focus, and every decision to prioritize growth is building the future silently. Patience is not waiting passively. It is active commitment. It is understanding that every step forward, no matter how small, compounds into extraordinary outcomes over time. Another essential element of transformation is letting go. You cannot move forward while carrying the weight of past mistakes, regrets, or the expectations of others. Letting go means releasing unnecessary burdens and freeing your energy for what truly matters. It means forgiving yourself for failures, learning from experiences, and refusing to allow external pressures to dictate your path. The lighter you become, the more capable you are of moving forward with speed, clarity, and confidence. Transformation is impossible without this act of release. Growth also comes from strategic focus. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every opportunity is worth pursuing. Not every voice deserves to be heard. By choosing where to invest your energy, you create leverage in your life. Focus allows you to magnify your efforts, accelerate your progress, and achieve results far greater than scattered attempts could ever produce. Strategic focus is not a limitation, it is a multiplier. It turns deliberate effort into results that exceed expectations. Transformation is also an internal journey. External achievements are visible, but the most profound change happens within. Your mindset, your beliefs, and your emotional strength shift as you commit to growth. Challenges no longer feel threatening, they become lessons. Distractions no longer feel urgent, they become irrelevant. Setbacks no longer feel defeating, they become opportunities for recalibration. The inner shift is what makes external success sustainable. Without it, even great results can crumble when pressure or change arises. The people who experience real transformation embrace discomfort. Growth does not occur in comfort zones. Every significant improvement requires stretching, testing limits, and confronting uncertainty. The quiet, focused person welcomes challenges because they understand that each obstacle is shaping them into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Transformation is not about avoiding pain. It is about using it as fuel to propel yourself forward. Every struggle endured intentionally, every fear faced bravely, and every moment of effort spent in silence contributes to the new version of you. Ultimately, transformation is a natural outcome of focus, discipline, and deliberate action. When you commit to yourself, protect your energy, act strategically, and persist through challenges, life begins to shift. Your habits change, your mindset strengthens, and your results become undeniable. The world may not recognize your efforts immediately, but the changes within are profound, and the outcomes will inevitably reflect your dedication. Transformation is not a mystery. It is the product of intentional, consistent, and focused effort over time. Your mindset is the most powerful tool you possess. It shapes how you perceive challenges, opportunities, and even your own potential. Most people allow their mindset to be dictated by external circumstances. Failures, criticism, and setbacks often define how they act and feel. But those who focus inward understand that life responds to belief and perspective. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you achieve. Change your mind, and your life changes naturally. Every habit, every reaction, every decision flows from the state of your mind. A strong mindset requires ownership. You cannot control the world, but you can control your response to it. Every time something goes wrong, you have a choice: blame, complain, or adapt. Complaining and blaming drain energy and distract from growth. Adaptation, focus, and self-reflection create power. By taking full responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and decisions, you reclaim control over your life. This ownership is liberating. It removes excuses, eliminates dependency on external approval, and positions you as the architect of your own destiny. Optimism is not just a feel-good concept, it is a strategy. The way you frame your circumstances determines how you respond. Challenges can either discourage or strengthen you. Failures can either break or teach you. Every setback contains a lesson that can be used as fuel for growth, but only if you choose to see it that way. A mindset that focuses on possibilities instead of limitations sees opportunity in every difficulty. This perspective turns obstacles into stepping stones and transforms frustration into momentum. Clarity in thought is another essential part of a powerful mindset. Confusion leads to hesitation, distraction, and wasted energy. When your mind is focused, deliberate, and free from unnecessary noise, decisions become easier, actions become more precise, and progress becomes inevitable. Clarity is cultivated through silence, reflection, and self-priority. When you consistently dedicate time to focus inward, the path forward becomes visible. You no longer drift aimlessly through life. You move with direction, purpose, and intention. Resilience is built within the mind. External challenges cannot break someone who has mastered their own thoughts. Every difficulty tests your beliefs, patience, and determination. Those who allow themselves to be reactive or emotional give away power. Those who remain grounded, focused, and intentional retain it. Mental resilience is a habit developed over time through discipline, reflection, and conscious effort. Each time you confront a fear, adapt to a change, or persist through discomfort, your mind grows stronger and your ability to thrive becomes unshakable. Focus amplifies the impact of mindset. A scattered mind produces scattered results. A concentrated mind produces outcomes that others cannot replicate. The more you train yourself to think intentionally, act deliberately, and prioritize what matters, the more your mindset shapes reality. Thoughts are seeds, focus determines what grows. Every idea you nurture, every belief you reinforce, and every decision you make in alignment with your vision strengthens the life you are creating. A powerful mindset turns small, consistent efforts into extraordinary results. Letting go of limiting beliefs is critical. Most people are held back not by circumstance, but by the thoughts they accept as truth. Fear, doubt, and insecurity create invisible chains that prevent action. By identifying these beliefs and consciously replacing them with empowering perspectives, you unlock potential that was always within you. The process requires courage, reflection, and repetition. Each time you challenge a limiting thought, you reinforce a stronger, more capable mindset. Over time, these mental shifts produce results far beyond what external effort alone could achieve. Gratitude is another tool that strengthens mindset. Appreciating what you have, recognizing progress, and acknowledging small victories rewires your brain to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. This does not mean ignoring challenges. It means balancing ambition with recognition of current strengths and achievements. Gratitude fuels motivation, reduces stress, and enhances resilience. It allows you to stay grounded while striving for more, creating a mental environment where growth becomes inevitable. A growth-oriented mindset thrives on learning. Every experience, success, or failure is feedback that can be used to improve. Those who stagnate often ignore lessons or cling to comfort. Those who grow actively seek knowledge, embrace challenges, and reflect on outcomes. Learning is not just about acquiring information. It is about applying insights to improve thinking, decision-making, and actions. A mindset focused on continuous improvement ensures that your life evolves alongside your goals, creating sustained momentum and lasting achievement. Ultimately, mindset is the engine that drives transformation. The habits you form, the decisions you make, and the actions you take all stem from how you think. A strong, resilient, and focused mindset turns setbacks into lessons, challenges into opportunities, and effort into extraordinary results. By taking ownership of your thoughts, cultivating clarity, and committing to growth, you equip yourself to navigate life with confidence, purpose, and unstoppable momentum. The life you desire begins in your mind, and every thought you nurture shapes the reality you will experience. The final key to transforming your life lies in the mastery of consistency and belief. Most people underestimate the power of showing up for themselves every single day. They wait for the right moment, for circumstances to align, or for motivation to appear. But the truth is, life rewards those who take action despite uncertainty. Every day you commit to your focus. Every moment you invest in growth. And every decision you make in alignment with your vision compounds quietly into extraordinary results. Consistency is not flashy, it is silent, but its impact is unstoppable. Belief is the fuel that drives consistency. If you do not believe in your potential, if you doubt your ability to grow, your efforts will falter. But when you cultivate unshakable belief in yourself, every action becomes meaningful. Challenges are no longer intimidating, they are tests of strength. Failures are no longer discouraging, they are lessons. Belief turns energy into momentum, vision into action, and effort into results. Your mindset becomes the engine, and your consistent actions become the wheels driving you forward. Living in alignment with yourself requires courage. The world often pressures you to conform, to seek approval, or to follow paths that are not yours. But courage is the refusal to let external noise dictate your choices. It is the ability to remain silent when others argue, to focus when others distract, and to act deliberately when chaos surrounds you. Courage allows you to embrace the discomfort of growth, to face challenges with clarity, and to prioritize what truly matters over what feels urgent or demanded by others. Every courageous choice reinforces your momentum and strengthens your self-trust. Your energy is the most valuable resource you have. Most people squander it on distractions, comparisons, and unnecessary conflicts. When you prioritize yourself, you invest energy in what produces results: self-improvement, disciplined action, and personal growth. This deliberate management of energy is the foundation of success. When energy is protected, every action becomes more effective, every decision clearer, and every result more significant. Life responds to energy directed with intention, and those who guard theirs achieve what others cannot. The power of focus, silence, and self-priority transforms not just your actions, but your presence in the world. People begin to notice calm determination, quiet confidence, and unwavering direction.